over to McMillan again for three. Too strong. Oh, my gracious! Wow.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Shawn Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hello and good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm super excited about this episode because I can finally talk again about one of my favorite players of all time, Shawn Kemp, aka the Rain Man. It is so unfortunate that hardly anybody talks about this guy because he was just so sensational and definitely one of the most spectacular players that we have ever seen in the NBA. Anyway, in today's episode, we're gonna take a look at NBA legends talking about the Rain Man. But before we start with that, let me ask you guys for a small favor. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy the content. And I would say, let's get down into it. Now, the first player's clip that we're going to take a look at is from Robert Horry, who is very generous when it comes to talking about other players, and that's what I like about him. Let's hear what he has to say about Shawn Kemp, aka the Rain Man.
People don't know how freaking good Shawn Kemp was, man. I remember him in high school. We was the same class in high school. I wish y'all could have seen this dude in high school. You know, because Alonzo Mourning was considered the #1 player in the country that year. And Shawn, he would be me, Shawn, Allen Houston, we were all hanging out, and Shawn one day says, I can't stand that motherfucker. We're like, what is he talking about? He ain't better than me. And this was the first time I ever seen someone like got so fucking motivated because of like, he went out the next game.
Who'd he say that to?
He was talking about Alonzo. This dude come down one time, Shawn Kemp. I never seen somebody this big, handling rock, takes off from the free throw line, dunks on Zoe, and be like, that's why I'm the best motherfucking player in the country. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay, all right.
And the next clip that we're going to take a look at is with Kevin Garnett, KG, and Gary Payton, who obviously was Shawn Kemp's running mate for so many years. Let's hear what the guys have to say about Kemp.
Is he the highest jumping individual you've ever played with? Ever. What was Shawn Kemp? If we had to guesstimate his vertical, what would you think his vertical would be? Oh, this is some real shit, y'all. This ain't no sauce. This is real shit.
You know what?
A 60?
KG probably up there, man. You know who I really say, me and you played with him in the Olympics?
Vince Carter.
See, I think them the two dudes that we already played for, they probably up in that era of where they can go get it like that, and they'll just do some stupid stuff. Them was one of the two best dudes I ever played and jumped high. And when we was on that video, when he went up and dunked on that dude, when me and you was sitting right there and we looking at that boy went up and up like Superman. I said,
it kept going up.
Them two right there, they gotta be up.
However, you just called Vince Carter the greatest dunker of all time. Well, the next two players that you have picked as a matchup might disagree with you. Who do you got
they're
next?
in the conversation. So let me take you early 90s Rensselaer, Indiana, BC camp. Shawn Kemp wins the dunk contest when I was there, and he literally jumped over a car and landed on the ground. I'm not talking about what Blake did where he dunked and landed on the car. He ran and jumped over the car and dunked it. At 6'10", you've heard some comparisons of Zion, a guy with like size and athleticism that we haven't seen. And how about how he cradled it against Alton Liston right there? Who got the camera? And when we talk about the alley-oop, and me and Perk just voiced something over about that on SportsCenter, he and Gary Payton, anytime they out on the break, you already know what's coming. Look at that. You already know what's coming, and you can't stop the rain when it starts to fall. The Rain Man.
The next clip is a very, very tiny one, but I thought, okay, I want to show it to you guys. As you probably remember, Vin Baker was traded to the Seattle Supersonics and Shawn Kemp left to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I read Vin Baker's book, and he talked about that he felt so much pressure replacing Shawn Kemp. And hearing that clip, I think it's pretty funny. Let's take a look.
I ended up being an all-star here for 3 years.
On your rookie contract, you were an all-star.
On my rookie's contract, I was an all-star 3 times. The way I left Milwaukee was through a trade, which led to a deal being struck where I was traded to the Seattle Supersonics for Shawn Kemp. I'll be perfectly honest with you, man. Like, I was a big fan of the Rain Man in the glove, man. When I got traded to the Sonics, man, I'm like, wait a minute, man, no more Rain Man. Like, I don't dunk like that. So they're gonna automatically get a shock to their system when they see how many finger rolls I do.
You know what's going on. Point out. Hey, the old Coliseum. I see what's going on.
Man,
hey,
that's
listen.
what it was going down, and that, you know.
Yeah, it was going down that
That's
Coliseum.
good stuff right there, bro.
Come on, man, hands up. What we got? Oh, see, hey, Q, he was one of the rare ones that could jump off 1 or 2 feet. It didn't matter with him. Just throw it up there.
And then he was Nerf hooping it before they knew what Nerf hooping it was. He was dunking that thing like a Nerf hoop. Look at
Look, oh!
look, 2 hands for Stanky gave him the swag sauce at the end of it.
He bring that sauce to it.
Oh, wait, watch your head, Rick Fox. Oh, goodness.
Oh,
look, that's the Nerf hoop. That's the Nerf hoop action. Look.
Hey, do you know how you can just throw it?
Look at us.
Look.
Hey!
You hit a reel?
So that's the name of that we didn't mention in the first segment that we mentioned here in the what if category. And you look at the career of Shawn Kemp.
Original Lob City.
Yeah.
Gary Payton and
Some of
Shawn
the
Kemp, I
greatest-
may let them say they was the originators of that.
Some of the greatest in-game dunks.
It was a what? It's
you'd
not
ever
really
seen.
a what if. He really was he had it, and we saw it.
But do you think you saw all that you could have seen of that career?
I don't think we've seen anyone dunk with that type of
force,
animosity. You know, just like oh! You know, just like you know, it was just like you had.
It was personal against the rim.
As Steve said, you know, today the way he dunks, it would be a 5-game suspension. just the way he dunked. And you know,
yeah.
The
point when we bring these guys up, it's not always because of an injury or something catastrophic that happens that cuts it short. Circling back to Kemp, it was like he had all of this going on, and then suddenly
got hungry.
He's twice the man he used to be.
He got hungry.
And he's not in a point in his career where it was over. He still had years left. What was your take on where he went from this to this, and the numbers then begin to dwindle?
Well, we saw them in the '96 finals, and watching Rodman and Kemp go at it was incredible. But I think that was when Shawn was at the height of his powers. And then I played with Shawn a few years later in Portland, about 2001. And I think it was just the lockout. You know, a lot of guys need the game and need the structure of practicing and workouts. And the lockout happened, and he came back probably 50 pounds overweight. And I don't think he was ever able to recover from that.
But he doesn't seem like, if you look at guys' bodies, you go, well, he's a guy I never have to worry about working out.
Yeah.
He's a guy I got to watch him. But Shawn Kemp, and the way he was built and the way he looked, you would say that would never be an issue for him, weight. And that was so surprising that, you know, weight was an issue for him. And, you know, unfortunately, we realized probably, I think some of those other demons off the court affected him to gain the weight.
Right.
But it just showed, even when he was heavy, 50 pounds overweight, he was like, I'm still a great jump shooter. You know, that's the difference when people say, you know, Blake Griffin. I said, well, you've never really seen Shawn Kemp, because the one thing you could not do against him is back off him.
You know, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Shawn Kemp was not only one of my favorite players of all time, I think he's super much underrated. Everybody thinks that he was just a great dunker, and so many people forget that this guy could really play. I mean, he was a great shot blocker, a great rebounder. He had a super great mid-range game. And all in all, I mean, isn't it about having fun watching a player working on his craft and actually taking a look at how good he is. And Shawn Kemp was just so much fun, and I'm so grateful that I had him on my show, talking to him. He was a super nice guy, but also watching him for so many years playing the NBA. So Shawn, this video is for you, my man. And to you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.
Bounces around, came to Kemp. Kemp behind the back pass